Alright, Amazon, I think we're going to see an upward movement. It's been bouncing off this trending line. Looks like it's going to have room for it to go up. Volume is pretty high. Next one is Google. We don't have as much volume as Amazon. Amazon had a pretty substantial volume size. Google seems to be descending. There is a support zone that it could bounce off of, and once it gets close to it, it might bounce back up. Chipotle Mexican Grill, trading pretty sideways. The market cap of this company is not that big. It has made a huge move from the bottom of the stock market trend down, has recovered substantially. Soon enough, I think there's going to be a breakout to the upside if everything stays stable. AutoZone does not have a lot of volume, but it's not at all-time highs, but it does have the potential. I think there's a demand zone here that it has bounced off of. I think we'll see it continue upwards to the 250 mark. A YouTuber from the financial education channel, Jeremy, has announced this stock as one that he wants to buy, and I think just him announcing that will have an effect possibly on some buying at this for the stock in the coming days. Volume is not high, but if we do see volume above 2.5 million or 4 million, that's a possible momentum play. Technically, when we look at the technicals, this stock just needs to break out of this consolidation. It's trading at a range. It looks like there may be a temporary drawdown and then continuation higher. BlackRock trading in a tunnel. We may see it bounce off the trend line and continue to tunnel upwards. It can possibly break the trend line and move towards 620 and 600. With Tesla near all-time highs, I would just see it continue and break or hold above 650 and maybe have it continue to 700 in the next couple weeks. Nvidia trading sideways, somewhat consolidating with a high valuation. This stock can easily break above 540, 550 and go all the way to 580. There's this big candle that drew down the price, but if it breaks above 550, I think we can see it move close to 580. FedEx had a great day today. We can see it break a couple days highs, and we got room all the way to 5. This is Netflix. Netflix definitely has room up with a very nice support demand zone. I think we'll see this stock up to 560s. Feel this gap right here. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. I think if Zoom breaks below this demand zone, we will see a move from 560s all the way to 530s. Perhaps a bounce at 345, or it can bounce. We do have a wick here, a hammer candle that could send the stock price back up to around 433 and possibly 450 mark. The SPY has been at all-time highs. Red candles do seem to be slightly bigger than the green candles in the past few days. With the vaccine out already, things look good, but at the same time, the effects of all these store closures and lockdowns may start to show their impact on the economy unless there's some government help. From a technical standpoint, we see somewhat of a consolidation, and it can possibly break down or break up depending on the news that we will hear tomorrow by Jerome Powell. Twilio breaking all-time highs. It held above all-time highs, and that's why we saw this move higher, substantial move higher from 344 all the way to 358. Huge move. We might see a bounce from this support. Snow is coming back down, and I think we see more room to cover all the way down to close to below 300. I think Roku also has potential to roll down back to 300 if it breaks below 317. I think Spotify has down movement potential to 300 as well. It breaks below 314. FedEx as a potential mover can make huge moves during earnings, and I think it will make another move. I am optimistic about earnings, but I won't be doing options. I'll just do like 2 shares. Home Depot trading between 260 and 270. If it goes below 260, it has room to 250, and if it breaks above 270, it's got room to 275. Ulta has huge downward potential. Trades below 262. You can see it come down all the way to 250. Wix still has room downwards. It trades below 260. It's got room to 244. I think BABA has a potential to move higher in the next couple months as we see maybe trade negotiations lighten up between the US and China. I think once we see the price break this not so strong trend line, we can start seeing it bounce back up. Could move further down, but in my opinion, the most it can move down is inside of this demand zone that we can draw out around 245. possibly before jumping back up. Boeing is now caught in a range. We can probably see it come back down close to 212 or back up towards 240 or 250-ish. If Salesforce spies slack, we can see this stock break above 230 and make its way up to 240 and then eventually possibly to near all-time highs. Cummins has small room down towards like 214, not a big mover. It could bounce and continue higher, but if it goes below 212, we can see it drop down all the way to 203. To see Microsoft make a bigger move, we would need to see it break above 217. It can make it move up to 224. Breaking below 208 can give it room to 203. I think with Caterpillar, we will soon see a small pullback. Currently in some sort of consolidation. Similar to this part, you see that here. You might see a pullback as the one we had during these 3 days. I think we will continue to see gold trade lower and lower. It looks like it is wanting to trend downward. In the short term, we might see it tank down to 165. Target has a nice looking chart. We might see it bounce at around 167 to continue up to 180. Disney is trading at all-time highs, and I imagine seeing this trade in a range for a while. So it will be active for quite this week. Just by the look of the volume, we see it trading at such unforeseen volume. If it trades lower, it could close this gap at some point. Just as we see this gap was closed slightly, and we see it bounce off that point in the future. This gap was not retested, so instead of continuing to go down, we can see a move higher. Etsy looks bearish. Could see a move down to 165, if not 156 in the next couple of days. But if it holds above 169, we can see it continuing higher. We might see a pullback from Baidu. It has been going up for quite some time, substantially in the last 4 days, and I think it's ready for a pullback down to the 550. With DoorDash, I've been wanting to see options so that I can buy a put option, but still no option products available. If we see QCOM trade below 140, I will pay close attention to see if it closes the gap down to 132. Walmart now seems to be trending downwards. A lower high has showed up, and I think we got room down to 143, if not 140. Skyworks seems to be approaching a demand zone, and if it does, you might see it bounce beyond trading at a range, and if we see it break above 145, we will see possibly a move up to 160. If it breaks down, we will just see it be choppy. Zillow has had a big run up these past couple of days. I think we will see a pullback soon enough, possibly a pullback back to 130. Nike has been trending up very nicely around this tunnel range, and I think we will see continuation unless it breaks. We can see it bounce around the 120 mark. I think we can see Win trade down to 100. Dollar Tree possibly has a gap to fill if it trades below 105, or it can bounce and go back up to near 112. Yum has nice technicals. If it breaks out above 107, we can see it move to all-time highs, but it can also break down if it breaks below 104. I think Best Buy has room to trade below to 190 to 95, possibly close the gap to 91 if prior candles do not interfere so much, or it could be a bounce. But we can see that the decline has been slowing down, so at any moment we can see possibly some nice green candles start to form. AMD breaking all-time highs. If it holds above the $95 mark, we can see it possibly go above 96.37 and continue higher. Chegg trading in a range, as we can see, could still move higher to the upper range and stay below 90 and between and above 62 in the meantime. But if we see it bounce or be rejected, we can see it come back down substantially. Coca-Cola kind of trading in a consolidation range, and it can break above and hold above 54 to make a move up to 56 and potentially higher. Twitter at all-time highs, so far below the all-time highs, close below. We might see it come back down with that wick candle falling star. We might see it come down to 48. Snap making ginormous moves, one that I would have never ever thought would be possible for this stock. I personally thought this stock was dead. I personally would short this stock. I would probably short Uber if I see a lower high and a lower low. eBay taking part of the resale business, especially with all the hype with cards, all the hype with the PlayStation, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, baseball cards, dumbbells, workout equipment, all these retail scalpers that scalp retail product may be benefiting eBay. For the long run, I see eBay going up for the next earnings.